Hey there, you've landed on Money Films. Dive in by hitting that subscribe button and giving us a thumbs up. Don't forget to ring that bell for notifications. Wanna catch every word? Click on CC for subtitles. Let's roll. The movie begins with a baseball game between two teams competing for the American championship.
Here in the opening inning, and the Athletics have taken that 1-0 lead.
The New York Yankees win over the Oakland Athletics, and they become champions. The general manager of Oakland, Billy Beane, is very disappointed at the result and can't get a grip on himself. The next morning, he meets with the team's owner and tells him that this year they are going to lose 3 of their top players. They have to replace them with other players who are equally as good as them, or else they don't stand a chance of winning the championship next year. The owner says he trusts Billy will do the best he can, but Billy knows the team will be worse next year. The problem is that the owner can't give Billy more than $38 million to build a better team, so the general manager is cornered against the wall. Upon returning home, Billy receives more bad news as one of the players he was trying to sign will be signed by another team.
I got Johnny for 7.5, but he doesn't play anywhere else because that's the deal you made.
His manager made Billy believe they had a deal, but then he bailed on him. The next day, Billy meets with the team of scouters, searching for a solution. However, Billy does not seem to like their suggestions as he believes none of the players they suggest will help the team.
In our heart, and you guys are sitting around talking the same old good body nonsense.
A short flashback shows us that Billy himself used to play baseball, and he got approached by some scouts who believed he had some fair potential. Back in the present, Billy visits the general manager of another baseball team in Cleveland and starts discussing with him a potential trade between 2 of their players. The manager is positive about the trade, but then one of the guys in the room, Peter Brand, changes his mind. After the meeting ends with no results for Billy, he walks near Peter and asks him why the general manager is listening to him. Peter says most of the time he does not listen to him and apologizes to Billy for ruining his deal. Billy takes the young man out to the parking lot so they can have a talk freely. Peter says he has studied economics at Yale, and he is now doing player analysis for Cleveland. He believes that teams are using the wrong criteria for the players they are signing, overvaluing some of them while undervaluing others.
Yale, economics, baseball.
Another flashback shows us that Billy received a $1 million offer when he was young. A couple of scouts from New York believed that he was extremely talented. Back in the present, Billy calls Peter to give him a test through the phone, asking him if he would have drafted him in the first round when he was young. Peter admits that he researched Billy and says he would have only drafted him in the 9th round. Billy likes that answer and offers Peter a job in Oakland. Peter moves to his new office, and he immediately prepares a report on 51 baseball players he believes are undervalued. One of them, Chad Bradford, is a relief pitcher that everybody is misjudging because he looks funny when he pitches. Peter believes this guy should be worth $3 million, but they can get him for around $200,000. In essence, Peter believes they can build a winning team if they focus on the player's actual skills instead of the business side of a team.
That we could afford, because everyone else in baseball undervalues them.
Do you think traditional methods of selecting players are outdated? How do you feel about using a more analytical, data-driven approach to building a baseball team? Hey, baseball fans, drop a traditionalist or analyst in the comments to show which approach you back. I can't wait to see where our community stands. The next morning, Billy calls a meeting with his team of scouts, bringing them 3 suggestions of players they need to focus on acquiring. The scouts believe those players are finished.
None of those 3 guys knows how to play first base.
But Billy insists he wants to focus on them, and he is not going to discuss it any further. Later that night, he and one of his scouts, Wash, visit one of those players named Scott. Scott has an injured elbow and has been abandoned by all teams. Although he tells Billy that his elbow does not support him much, the latter explains that he wants to train him to play in a different position, so his elbow will not be a problem.
This is a contract to play ball for the Oakland A's.
That's a first for Scott, but he still feels happy about the offer. Another flashback shows us how Billy messed up everything when he was signed to play professionally. Even though the experts believed in him, he lacked confidence, and he was not able to reach his potential as a baseball player.
Getting a scholarship.
Back in the present, his head scout wants to have a talk with Billy, but the conversation quickly turns into a heated argument. The head coach does not trust what Billy is doing, so Billy fires him and assigns one of the other scouts to replace him.
You, Billy. Now I will.
In the next few weeks, the team gets prepared for their first game. The training sessions don't always go well, so Billy tells Peter he hopes they have made the right decisions. When it is time for the actual game, Billy leaves the stadium and tells Peter to text him the plays one by one. He never sticks around to watch the games. Unfortunately, Oakland loses. Billy has a talk with the team's coach, Art, and scolds him about not using the players the way they have planned. Art defends himself by saying he is the coach, and he knows better how to manage the team. That angers Billy because if the coach does not cooperate, everything they have done is for nothing.
Good meeting. Every time we talk, I'm reinvigorated by my love of the game.
Meanwhile, the fired head scout is invited on a radio show, and he reveals that Billy is trying a new approach. However, it is not working.
He's tried to come up with a new approach. My hat's off to him. It won't work.
The championship continues and Oakland reaches a point where they account for 13 losses and 4 wins. Billy and Peter have a meeting with the owner, and they explain to him that it is too early to decide if their system is working or not. Their expectation is that the team will start doing better. One night, Billy picks his daughter up to have some ice cream with her over at his house, and she is worried about him losing his job. She has read online that everybody is blaming the team's losses on the general manager. Billy tries to calm her down and asks her to relax.
I got uptown problems, which are not problems at all.
Before the team's next game, Billy approaches Art and tells him to bench a player named Pina and use another one in his position. However, Art does not take his advice, and the team loses again. While walking through the stadium's hallways, Billy listens to music from the team's locker room. He bursts into the locker room and finds the team party. He smashes the radio and wonders how they can be having fun while they are losing so many games. The next morning, Billy calls Peter into his office and has him witness how he makes 2 big trades. That way, Art will have to use the players Billy wants him to use instead of the ones he usually starts with. Peter believes these big moves will be hard to explain, but Billy tells him not to worry about that because they don't have to explain to anyone what they are doing. The two of them start spending more time with the players, explaining to them some stuff about the way they are playing.
Mr. Justice.
Although some of them do not react well to that, the team starts doing better and getting closer to the first team. Billy wants to make one last addition to the team and bring in a guy named Rinkin. He asks Rinkin's team, and they will trade him for around $200,000. Billy tells the team owner about it, but he can't give Billy the money. Then Billy suggests paying for Rinkin with his own money, and when he sells him later in time, he will keep the profit, if there is any.
Okay, thank you very much. We'll call you back. Thank you. Come on! Come on!
It seems like his move was a good choice since Oakland Athletics gets started on a winning streak. At first, they reach 11 wins in a row, but later, they are able to take that up to 19 wins in a row.
And it defies everything we know about baseball.
During their next game, Billy is in his car, and he receives a phone call from his ex-wife and his daughter. His ex-wife tells him that he is doing a good job with the team, and she is proud of him, making him smile. Then, his daughter jumps on the phone and tells him to go to the stadium and watch the game. He has to enjoy it, and he has to get over his belief that he is going to jinx the game. Billy turns around and goes to the stadium. Oakland is winning by 11 points, but things start going really bad. The other team balances the score, and now Billy takes a walk to the locker room. Art throws Scott in the mix and has him hit the last ball. Scott's first attempt is a failure, but on the second attempt, he hits the ball so hard that it almost flies out of the stadium. Oakland Athletics wins once more, and they now set a record of 20 wins in a row. Peter is very happy to achieve such a record, but that is not the case for Billy. Billy believes that the most important thing would be to win the next game, which also means that they will win the championship in order to prove that their philosophy works. Have you ever been part of or witnessed a major comeback or turnaround in sports or elsewhere? How did it feel? Do you think the new player's strategy played a key role in the A's winning streak? Comeback stories are always thrilling. Share your personal comeback story below, and let's celebrate those unforgettable moments together. Also, share your views on the A's new strategy. However, Oakland loses the next game and the championship.
Oakland A's were fundamentally not a sound baseball team.
On the other hand, the Boston Red Sox believe in Billy's philosophy, and they make him an offer to become their general manager for $12 million. Billy tells the owner he is honored to receive such an offer, but then returns back to Oakland. He meets with Peter again and tells him that their strategy failed. However, Peter shows him a video of a player who hit a home run without even realizing it, meaning that sometimes you might believe you failed, but you actually succeeded in something.
Nightmares coming to life.
Indeed, Peter's words are proven to be true as the Boston Red Sox win the championship 2 years later by embracing Billy's and Peter's philosophy. As for Billy himself, he continues being a general manager to the Oakland Athletics, but he is still struggling to win that last game that would give his team the championship they crave. Even though the Athletics didn't win the championship under Billy's strategy, do you think their new approach was a success? Why or why not? How do you define success in such scenarios? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know how you define success in such situations. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us. Can't wait to see you in the next one.